Okay, good morning to one and all, and welcome to Supply Chain Management online classes. This is Dr. Mahesh M. Onjeri, Assistant Professor from Department of Management Studies, SDM College of Engineering and Technology, Dharwad. Okay, so dear students, before we begin chapter from Unit 2 today, that is on supply chain drivers. Okay, so here I would like to read a news from the Times of India Times Business column related to supply chain. So I'll read it out loud. Please pay attention. Swiss watch firms. Swiss means Switzerland. Swiss watch firms go digital to revive sales. COVID-19 forced brands to push online business. Luxury Swiss watchmakers, usually not big fans of online retailing, are launching a new all digital watches and wonders event to show off their latest products, hoping to revive sales hit by the coronavirus crisis. Makers of high-end watches still largely rely on physical stores for sales, but the success of online platforms for pre-owned watches, such as Watchbox or Richmond's Watchfinder, have shown it is possible to sell luxury timepiece online. Pandemic related factory and store closures hit Swiss watch sales last year and have forced brands to boost their often tiny online business and generally rethink digital activities. Okay, most Swiss luxury watch brands such as Patek Philippe and Rolex have preferred to stick with the traditional bricks and mortar stores to sell their products that can cost tens of thousands of dollars. For Patek, selling online is still not an option, and a test run with retailers during the first lockdown confirmed that strategy. President Thierry Stern said, people don't want to buy a Patek online. The watches are expensive. You lose the beauty, the magic. The family-owned luxury watchmaker sees a recovery this year after a 20% sales slump in 2020, but does not expect to return to 2019 sales figures yet. That will maybe take a year or two, Stern said. Okay, so here the news is all about the expensive and luxury Swiss watches like Rolex. Okay, so the news says all these years, these luxury expensive Swiss watch makers, they prefer to sell through stores, okay, and not online. Okay, they say it is because when these products are sold online, they lose their luxury and beauty, and so they lose their image because the authentic shopping experience, okay, so which is experienced by the customers from the store, okay, will be missed out online. So why it is so important that authentic, okay, shopping experience in the store? As I mentioned, okay, these watches, okay, cost tens of thousands of dollars. Okay, you can imagine crores of rupees in Indian currency. Okay, so that is the reason why, okay, all these years the most of these expensive luxury watchmakers did not resort to online stores, but due to the recession induced by pandemic, due to the sales in slowdown in sales, okay, so many luxury watchmakers are turning or shifting to online channels. So when the consumers are not visiting, enough consumers are not visiting stores, okay, so the company is reaching out to the customers, okay, at their convenience through online stores. Okay, but still, some companies like Patek and Rolex say, okay, online is still as an option for them as their customers don't prefer to buy online. Okay. So, what is the supply chain all about? If you can recall all the efforts put, okay, in making a product, okay, all the efforts put together in fulfilling a customer demand. Okay. So these companies are also trying to fulfill the customer demand. So while many companies have switched to online mode, still some brands like Rolex have remained with brick and mortar format or physical stores. Okay. So with that news, let me go ahead with unit chapter from unit 2. Okay. So just a minute. Okay, students, I hope we can see the PowerPoint slides.
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
Yes, sir.
Thank you.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yeah,
Yes, sir.
thank you. Okay. So now we are into unit 2. Okay, so where we will learn about what drives the performance of a supply chain. Okay, so chapter number 3, supply chain drivers and obstacles. So you can just for analogy, so what drives a car? Okay, so it's engine, for example. Okay, so the engine of the car drives it. And what are the obstacles? Maybe, for example, speed breakers, which slows down the speed of the car. Okay, so that way, let us learn more in detail what drives the performance of supply chain and what hinders the performance of a supply chain. So in this chapter, we are going to learn the different what are drivers of supply chain in brief, then a framework for structuring drivers, and in detail, we are going to learn about each driver. There are 6 drivers that include facilities, inventory, transportation, information, sourcing, and pricing. And the last topic in the chapter will be obstacles, okay, in the supply chain and obstacles to achieve strategic fit. Okay, so let's make a beginning to understand what are drivers of supply chain. A company's supply chain has to balance. A company's supply chain has to achieve balance between responsiveness and efficiency. So achieving this balance between responsiveness and efficiency is referred to as strategic fit. Okay, so please remember, you should not forget. Okay, otherwise throughout the chapter, it will become difficult for you to understand how each of the driver contributes to performance of the supply chain. So I repeat again. A company's supply chain has to achieve balance between responsiveness and efficiency. Okay, so now let us consider 2 examples. Say for example, Dell and Hewlett Packard. Okay, so when Dell entered into business, okay, in United States of America, okay, they introduced a new business model called the direct sales model. Okay, it's called a direct sales model. Okay, so then the market leader was Hewlett Packard. So I will use the short form HP. I hope you can understand and you will remember. Okay, so in such a case, so Hewlett Packard sold its personal computers through physical distribution channel. The way I read it out now, at Rolex, Patek, and many other Swiss luxury watchmakers have relied on selling through physical distribution channels. Okay, brick and mortar stores. Okay, then Dell came out with a new model. Okay, Dell did not sold its personal computers through any intermediaries, through any physical distribution channel. They sold the personal computers directly to the customers by way of their own website, that is online, as well as through sales force of telemarketing executives. Okay, so these were 2 different business models. Okay, so when we say responsiveness, okay, so who is better able to respond to the customer needs? Say for example, in case of Hewlett Packard, okay, all the personal computers displayed in the retail store were standard. So when you go to buy a laptop in a showroom or a store, you cannot modify, okay? You cannot configure it. Whatever models are available, you have to buy one among them. So we call them standard products. But Dell enabled its customers to configure their own computer, a customized computer online. Okay, customer could log on to Dell website and configure their own personal computer and place an order online and get it delivered at home. So Dell's supply chain Dell supply chain was built in this way. If you can recall, pull strategy. If you can recall, a push strategy and pull strategy. So at Dell, assembly of the personal computer started only after receiving the order from the customer. But where in Hewlett Packard, They used to manufacture the personal computers, keep them in the showroom and wait for the customer to come and purchase. So when we consider Dell's supply chain, it is highly responsive because Dell had its supply chain designed in such a way where they could assemble a personal computer based on customer needs, a customized personal computer, and make it door delivery to the customer. So we can say Dell's supply chain is highly responsive. But whereas Hewlett Packard's supply chain was more of efficient, okay, where the customer would walk into a store and walk out with a personal computer, okay, in no time, okay, after making the payment at the POS. Okay, so this is what we say a responsiveness and efficiency of the supply chain. Same way, another example can be Walmart and Amazon. See, Walmart is the world's largest company and of course the world's largest retailer. Okay, so the supply Walmart's punchline or baseline is lower prices always. So Walmart's supply chain is built in such a way where the costs are kept low. For example, Walmart sources merchandise from all over the world. Okay, wherever they find it, wherever they find it at the lowest possible price, including the import duty and transportation. Okay, so they have suppliers in China, Thailand, India, okay, and many other parts of the world. And they prefer to buy from any supplier from around the world, okay, where the cost is lowest. And the supply chain is built in that way. Okay. Whereas Amazon, if we consider, so we can say Walmart's supply chain is built to achieve efficiency, low cost. Whereas Amazon, its competitor, so who is an online retailer. So imagine they maintain a wide variety of merchandise online because it's virtual, okay, inventory, and the customer from anywhere in the respective markets can place an order and get it delivered at doorsteps. So Amazon's supply chain is responsive. Okay, so this is how you need to understand what is the responsiveness and efficiency of a supply chain. But it is not always that when Dell does it. Okay, Dell's supply chain is more responsive. Okay, so they assemble a customized personal computer and make home delivery. So it costs more. So they charge a premium price to their customers. So Dell's customized computers were more expensive compared to HP's standard computers. But when I say Dell's computers are expensive, they were not too expensive where the demand will be very low. Okay, and efficiency. Okay, so Dell's supply chain was highly responsive, but at the same time, to some extent, it was efficient. They could maintain cost also. They could control cost also. Okay, similarly, HP's supply chain was efficient, highly efficient, but at the same time, to some extent, it was responsive also. Again, Walmart supply chain is highly efficient, but to some extent, it is responsive also. Amazon's supply chain is highly responsive, but to some extent, it is efficient also. So this is what we call achieving balance between responsiveness and efficiency. And achieving this balance between responsiveness and efficiency is referred to as achieving strategic fit. See, dear students, why I spent 10 minutes on this one line is if you still do not understand what is the responsiveness and efficiency in the supply chain, okay, it will be very difficult for you to understand this whole chapter. It is one of the biggest or largest chapter in the syllabus. Okay, because in each driver we learn how, for example, facilities, okay, result in responsiveness or efficiency of the supply chain. Inventory, for example, how it results in responsiveness and efficiency of the supply chain. And also last topic is obstacles in achieving strategic fit. So what prevents a company from achieving the balance between responsiveness and efficiency? Okay, so I hope that a detailed background. Let me continue. To understand how a company can improve supply chain performance, we must examine the drivers of supply chain because performance of the supply chain is driven by its drivers. These drivers interact with each other to determine the supply chain performance in terms of responsiveness and efficiency. That's why I Okay, explain it for 10 minutes, 2 examples. Okay. Okay, what are those drivers of supply chain? So this is a brief introduction for them, after which we are going to learn them more in detail. So facilities, what are facilities? Facilities in layman's language, simply they are factories. I hope you understand the word factory or a plant, we call them. Facilities are nothing but factories or warehouses. Facilities are factories or warehouses, places where inventory is stored, assembled, or fabricated. So facilities are also production sites, means factories, and storage sites. So I hope you have the idea now. When I use the word facility, it means it is a plant or a warehouse, or any place where the inventory is held, including retail store, for example, distribution center, for example. Okay. Then inventory. What is inventory? It is raw materials, work in progress, finished goods within a supply chain. And the inventory is managed by inventory policies. Third driver is the transportation. I hope this meaning you can understand, it is simple. Transportation is moving inventory from point to point in a supply chain. It is not only about finished goods transportation, it is also about transportation of raw materials from supplier to manufacturer. And the transportation decisions include a combinations of transportation modes and routes. About transportation modes, we are going to learn in this chapter, and the transportation routes, okay, we are going to learn in networking in another chapter later. Then information. So what is information? So imagine manufacturer places order with the supplier for raw materials. So that is information, that order, what is ordered, what is the quantity ordered. So that is information. When the supplier receives the order and prepares the invoice, that is information. When he ships the goods or ships the raw materials for transportation to manufacturer, so that shipment details are information which are shared with the manufacturer. He will understand when he receives information, or for that matter, okay, in your case, when you place an order with Amazon or Flipkart, immediately you receive a SMS, okay, of order confirmation. And when the product is picked, you receive another SMS. When the product is shipped for transportation, you receive another information, and you receive the information on probably on what date you will receive the delivery. When the product reaches your hometown, okay, the delivery boy makes a phone call to you, that is information. Okay, and he comes to your home and deliver the product, and he enters some information into his app. That information goes to company server that the product is delivered to the right customer. That is information. So this all information, it flows throughout the supply chain, and without information or without information technology, okay, supply chain efficiency cannot be achieved. So information includes a data. Data means information and analysis regarding inventory, transportation, facilities throughout the supply chain. Okay, and information is potentially the biggest driver of supply chain performance, as I mentioned. Then sourcing. Okay, sourcing is nothing but outsourcing. I hope you are familiar with the word called outsourcing. Okay, so sourcing, functions a firm performs in-house and functions that are outsourced. Say for example, in Dharwad, we have different plants. One is like Varun Beverages Private Limited, which is a licensed manufacturer and marketer of PepsiCo India products, Pepsi Cola, Mountain Dew, and other products. Okay, so they have outsourced the function of transportation. KMF, Dharwad Milk Union in Dharwad. Okay, 1 or 2 students have done their okay, summer project there. There also transportation function is outsourced, so we call it sourcing. And other functions like production is performed in-house of Pepsi Cola products in Varun Beverages. Varun Beverages production is performed in-house. Okay, in Dharwad Milk Union KMF, production is performed in-house. Okay, so remember, production is also outsourced. Remember, like in case of Pepsi Cola, what they have done, they have outsourced manufacturing. But for Varun Beverages, production is performed in-house. Then the final driver is pricing. Okay, so it's not only about price of the finished goods. As I mentioned, price of the finished goods is influenced by price of the raw materials as well. Please remember, prices charged by the transportation companies, prices charged by the warehousing companies. Okay, so remember that. Price associated with goods and services provided by a firm to the supply chain. Okay, remember. So this way price is also associated with other all three stages or three drivers. Okay. Now after this, I'll take your questions if any. So how these drivers are structured for better understanding or for better management. Okay. So what you can see here is facilities, inventory, and transportation. Okay. So are grouped under logistical drivers. Okay. Facilities, inventory, and transportation are logistical drivers. Okay. And information sourcing and pricing are classified as cross-functional drivers. Why cross-functional drivers? So as you can see here, information, okay, flows through facilities, information, okay, flows through inventory, information flows through transportation as well. Okay. Then sourcing, same way, facilities. Sourcing decisions can be made with respect to facilities like warehousing, whether to build own warehouses or hire the rented warehouses, whether to manufacture in-house or to outsource. Inventory management can also be outsourced. Transportation, as I mentioned, outsourced or can be performed in-house. Sourcing, then pricing. Pricing is done again at each of the logistical driver. So information sourcing and pricing, okay, flows throughout the logistical drivers. That's why they are called as cross-functional drivers, whereas facilities, inventory, and transportation are considered as logistical drivers. So together, these logistical drivers and cross-functional drivers interact with each other and determine the efficiency and the responsiveness of any supply chain. Okay. So the goal of any company or goal of supply chain management is to strike a balance between responsiveness and efficiency, as I spent 10 minutes on the first line. Okay. Then make a trade-off between efficiency and responsiveness. Yeah, company can be more of a responsive supply chain, but to some extent it also needs to be efficient supply chain. Otherwise, it will not be sustainable. Okay. Combined impact of these drivers, that is logistical drivers and cross-functional drivers, determine the responsiveness and efficiency of any supply chain. Okay. So before we move ahead with the facilities, the first driver, now I will entertain if you have any questions or doubts. Yes, students. Any questions, any doubts?
No, sir.
Okay. Anybody else?
No, sir.
Okay, that's great. Then in the meanwhile, if you still have any doubt or you're thinking about it, think. And you can ask your doubt after the attendance. So let me take attendance first. Okay, students, you know the order in which I'm going to call. So keep your audios unmuted. 2 to 3 students. Okay. And after giving attendance call, mute your audio immediately. Okay. So don't try to unmute once I call your name. Okay. By the time you answer, I will move on to next student. Nishant.
Yes, sir.
Aditya.
Present, sir.
Aishwarya.
Present, sir.
Akshata.
Present, sir.
Akshay Pujari.
Present, sir.
Akshay Koradkeri.
Present, sir.
Sorry, Akshay Kulkarni.
Present, sir.
Akshay Koradkeri.
Present, sir.
Ankita. Anusha.
Present, sir.
Apeksha.
Present, sir.
Arpita.
Present, sir.
Ashutosh,
Present, sir.
Ashwini,
Yes, sir.
Prasad,
Yes, sir.
Supriya, Divya,
Present, sir.
Gautam,
Present, sir.
Geeta,
Yes, sir.
Geetanjali,
Present, sir.
Gururaj,
Present, sir.
Hanmantrai, Bhimaya,
Present, sir.
Kalaya,
Present, sir.
Karthik, Manjur,
Yes, sir.
Manoj,
Yes, sir.
Meghna Kalburgi,
Present, sir.
Meghna Lokhande, Nagaratna,
Present, sir.
Nandan,
Present, sir.
Navya, Nidhi,
Yes, sir.
Nikita,
Present, sir.
Pooja, Pradeep,
Present, sir.
Pramod,
Yes, sir.
Pranjali, Prashant,
Yes, sir.
Prema,
Present, sir.
Priya,
Present, sir.
Rahul,
Present, sir.
Ram, Rohit,
Yes, sir.
Parsha,
Present, sir.
Samuel, Sharan,
Present, sir.
Sharayu,
Present, sir.
Shilpa,
Present, sir.
Shreya,
Present, sir.
Srinidhi,
Yes, sir.
Shruti,
Present, sir.
Shweta, Shweta Kokane, Shweta Kalkeri, Snehal,
Present, sir.
Suchitra,
Present, sir.
Sudarshan,
Yes, sir.
Sudha, Suman,
Yes, sir.
Maru,
Present, sir.
Vaishnavi,
Present, sir. Sir, Shweta is present, sir. Sir, Shweta.
which Shweta?
Kokani, sir.
Kokane, Vishal, present. Sharadhi,
Present, sir.
okay.
Sir, Hanmantrai is present.
One. Shweta Kokane is present. Hanmantrai is
Shruti present, sir.
Shruti.
Shruti present. Yes, sir.
Sir, Navya Hagde
Shruti is present.
present, sir.
Navya. Okay, is
Yes,
present.
sir. Sir, Nikita present, sir.
Nikita. Yeah, Mark is present.
Sir, Ankita present.
Ankita and Hanmantrai. Hanmantrai present. Ankita present. Okay. Yeah.
Thank you, sir.
Well. Now let's continue again. Okay, so we'll begin to learn. Now we know what are facilities. Okay, so we'll learn now how facilities result in responsiveness or efficiency of a supply chain. So first, let us go ahead and understand what is the role of facilities in a supply chain. Facilities means, remember, plants or warehouses. Okay, factories or warehouses, godowns. Okay, so facilities answer where of the supply chain. Where means where the inventory will be stored. For example, of course, in warehouses or where the goods will be manufactured. So facilities answer where of the supply chain part. So these are nothing but a manufacturing or storage sites that are plants or warehouses. So what is the role of supply chain in the competitive strategy? See, imagine a competitive strategy of a supply chain solely depends upon the supply chain strategy. I repeat, the competitive strategy of a company solely depends on the supply chain strategy. In fact, competitive strategy and supply chain strategy, there should be a match. Okay, so supply chain strategy is designed according to the competitive strategy. So I'll explain. I'll give an example for what is the meaning of competitive strategy. So most of us are aware about two popular pizza restaurants. Who can name them? Yeah, who can name the two most popular pizza restaurants?
Domino's.
And
Pizza Hut.
Pizza Hut. Very good. So Domino's and Pizza Hut, you should know, huh? These are words, okay, leading quick service restaurants. And their signature dish is pizza. But there is a basic difference in the business model of Domino's and Pizza Hut, though it may not be visible to bare eyes. Okay, so but this is how it works. 80% of Domino's sales comes from home deliveries. They take order over the phone or through their app or through their website, and they make home delivery. So 80% of the Domino's business comes from home deliveries. Whereas in case of Pizza Hut, 80% of the sales comes from walk-in customers who visit the store and eat there itself. Okay, now the supply chain, these are the competitive strategy of Domino's and Pizza Hut respectively. So both are satisfying, both are trying to satisfy the same need. Okay, both companies are trying to satisfy the same need. Okay, satisfy the hunger of the customer through pizza, but their business models are different. So as I mentioned, 80% of the Domino's sales comes from home deliveries, and 80% of the Pizza Hut's business comes from walk-in customers into the restaurant. Accordingly, they have designed their supply chain. So the Domino's menu, when you compare with the Pizza Hut menu, it is far smaller. Domino's menu compared to Pizza Hut is far smaller, because if the company maintains a very large menu, it becomes very difficult to manage the telephone orders. Okay, it becomes very difficult. Smaller the menu, it will be more easy to control. Okay, so it will be efficient. Okay, and relatively, Domino's restaurants are smaller compared to Pizza Hut restaurants. So this way, and Domino's makes use of faster mode of transportation. For example, two-wheelers. Okay, so in many of the developed nations like America, Domino's makes use of a car also to make home delivery of the pizzas. But their roads are broader, traffic is lesser. But in our country, roads are narrower. Okay, as well as their traffic is more. Okay, at the same time, the value per transaction in United States of America is far more, which compensates the high cost of car transportation. But in India, the value per transaction is quite low. So maintaining a car is very expensive. So they use two-wheelers. It comes down to that level. Supply chain of Domino's. And compare then Pizza Hut, they have very long menu. Okay, they have very big menu compared to Domino's, because 80% of the Pizza Hut's customer business comes from walk-in customers who visit the restaurant and eat it. So they look for a variety of food. So they have a larger menu. Okay. So this is what is the competitive strategy of Domino's and Pizza Hut. Same way, the competitive strategy of HP, Hewlett Packard, and Dell. Okay, so both satisfy the same need of customer, computing needs. Why a person purchases computer is for computing purpose. HP and Dell both satisfy the same consumer need, but their strategies are different. Whereas HP sold its standard computers through retailers, in the physical stores, Dell sold customized personal computers directly to the customers online. Okay, so remember, and the supply chains are built accordingly. Okay, so what is the role of facilities in the competitive strategy in satisfying the customer need? So facilities help achieve economies of scale. So they help achieve efficiency to some extent. Okay, larger number of smaller facilities, okay, provide responsiveness to the supply chain. So if you have smaller capacity, okay, smaller facilities, more in number, they result in efficiency because they help achieve economies of scale. But when you have more number of small capacity facilities, okay, so they will be located closer to the market and the responsiveness will be higher. Okay, so what Toyota and Honda do in Europe and America is they have many number of factories whose production capacity is smaller. So why they have many number of factories with a smaller production capacity? Because these production facilities are located closer to the market. Okay, closer to the market. So the moment products are manufactured, immediately they can be sent to the market or to the dealer. Remember, it takes on an average of 14 days for a car to travel from factory to dealer showroom in America. So to reduce that time, okay, Toyota and Honda have large number, means many number of smaller production capacity factories. So they improve their responsiveness, quick delivery. Okay, the dealer's orders can be quickly delivered compared to the competitors. Okay,